My first comment it's a reaction to the representative of the State of Israel, who finally, after 3 years, honored this mandate of his presence. Look, it's grotesque and frankly delusional that a genocidal state can't respond to the substance of my findings. And the best thing that he resorts to is accusing me of witchcraft. So, indeed, you're the one accused of genocide. If the worst thing you can accuse me for is witchcraft, I take it. But rest assured that if I had the power to make spells, I would use it not for vengeance. I would use it to stop your crimes once and for all, and to make sure that those responsible end up behind bars. And I would make sure that everyone from the river to the sea, Jewish people, Muslim people, Christian people, and secular people lived in freedom and enjoying their rights, not just privilege for few, again, between the river and the sea. To the state of South Africa, it's absolutely electrifying to be in your country. And I thought I know a lot about it and about the life of Nelson Mandela, but I was wrong, because I thought that Nelson Mandela and his comrades and the movement that strove to bring apartheid to an end were quite unique. But there is the light of Nelson Mandela in all the people that I've met in the past 5 days. Concerning your question, if there are narratives that have been particularly effective in dehumanizing the Palestinians, absolutely. Look at how anti-Semitism and terrorism have been used, not only to dehumanize the Palestinians, but also to silence any legitimate criticism of Israel. I mean, no one cares about Israel's religions, frankly. I just want Israel to comply with international law, like anyone else in the international community, including the Commission of Inquiry, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, all the dozens and dozens of organizations who have documented Israel's war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. And by the way, Israel is the one who today appears before 2 international tribunals accused of genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. To Romania, I have to say, you're right, and I'm sorry the report was reached you so late. And I would have used the summertime at my disposal to work on the report had the member states of the United Nations and the organization itself been more effective in helping me protect myself and my family from the continuous smears and attacks, including through the sanctions that have been illegitimately imposed on me. Then to Hungary and Italy. Hungary is wrong. It's not true that I've not condemned Hamas. Of course I've condemned Hamas. Of course, surely not in this report, but I've not condemned Israel for its crimes against the Palestinians in 2008, 2009, 2012, etc., etc. But I regret you and the representative of Italy made allegations that I find unsupported. For example, you say that I make political statements. Well, you should have mentioned some examples so that I could have learned and improved. Otherwise, both of you seem reciting the talking points of the Israeli ambassador. To the representative of Ireland, my answer on which next steps can be taken to advance peace, I say respecting international law. The ICJ has spoken over and over the past 18 months, saying that it's genocide which calls states upon cutting ties with Israel, especially stop transferring weapons. And then the only roadmap to peace is about ending the root causes of violence, ending the occupation, now ending and remedying the genocide, and then ending apartheid. I don't see that there is another way forward. And this leads me to the next question that has been raised by many, including the criticism from South Africa. Yes, it's true that I've not given much space to the political initiatives and the humanitarian initiatives that you and others have taken, because in my view, they are not what is needed to take the Palestinians out of the genocide, out of the apartheid, out of the unlawful occupation. Many of you continue to treat Palestine as a humanitarian crisis to manage in perpetuity, and I stand firmly against it in the name of justice and human rights. As simple as that. a member state, including Saudi Arabia, may want to use their influence to make sure that, as the ICJ has requested, Israel withdraws the troops, dismantle the settlements, and then stops using Palestinian resources, allowing also for reparations. This is what is to be done. And look at the peace plan that so many of you have applauded in recent weeks. This peace plan has continued maintain the Palestinians under occupation, and in fact doesn't take into account international law at all, and creates the conditions for an occupation in disguise. Instead of helping bring to an end the occupation, it's rewarding and it's allowing it to stay, again, as I said, under disguise. But let me conclude with some final remarks inspired by this very interesting and lively discussion. We must be honest about what we are confronting. What Israel has built is not at all exceptional. It's the colonial order continued and refined. This is racial domination and its possession updated for our century and enforced with the weapons and technologies of this century. And South Africa demonstrates that what seems today invincible can in fact be broken when law, will, and courage align. And even in the strongest walls fall. And in this darkness, millions are resisting. Sparks of hope. Shame on those calling themselves liberal democracies, failing to restrain the powers of their police that try to silence conscience, or to support the hundreds of citizens from all over the world who continue to risk their lives in the forms of a flotilla or global march, breaking the genocide instead of anticipating that breaking the siege and stopping the genocide is an obligation that is upon member states. As the global anti-apartheid movement of our time demonstrates, it's states that stay silent and complicit. The people united are rising. Workers are striking worldwide. The BDS is gaining new momentum with more consumers boycotting strategically, businesses divesting, and institutions from banks to universities slowly but steadily correcting their practices. The question is no longer if Israel's apartheid and the global system of complicity that supports it will end. It matters when and how. And what gives me hope are the initiatives like the Hague Group led by Colombia and South Africa that embody the beginning of a new multilateralism. Look, in conclusion, for the younger generation, the genocide of the Palestinians is memory in the making, shaping their sense of self in the global order. And whether recognized by states or not, accepted or not by those in power, the Palestinian struggle for freedom stands at the heart of the movement toward a truly decolonial world order. And to the people of Palestine, I say, may you hear it. From the harshness of occupation to wherever exile has taken you, watching or suffering the genocide, your struggle is seen, your resilience is honored, and the world is awakening with you and will stand with you as it has done with South Africa until your liberation. Thank you.